Good morning, student. Today, the topic which we are going to discuss is National Curriculum Framework 2005. A learning objective of today's topic came into existence when National Curriculum Framework 2005 came into existence. Input documents. What are the different input documents that helps to create or develop a national curriculum framework? Five guiding principles. What are the different principles on which the National Curriculum Framework 2005 has been made? Basic spirits behind NCF 2005. What is the basic spirit behind the National Curriculum Framework 2005? Observation about Indian schools. What are the observations about the Indian schools? Learning and knowledge and curriculum areas. Now, came into existence. Chairman Professor Yash Pal, formerly Chairperson University Grants Commission, assisted by 21 focus groups. Methodology analysis of existing curriculum. They will analyze the existing curriculum that is being prevailing. Consultation of commissions. What are the different commissions are saying? They will consult those commissions and committees, documents, consultations with educationists, planners, administrators, principals, headmasters, teachers, parents, students, journal public. Means before finalizing the national curriculum framework, they will consult different stakeholders of the education system, the educationists, planners, administrators, principals, headmasters, teachers, parents, students. Now, input document National Curriculum Framework 1975, 1984, 1988, and 2000 are the documents. Secondary Education Commission 1952-53, the reports which were submitted by the Secondary Education Commission in 1952 and 53. Educational Commission 1964 to 66. What are the reports sent by the Education Commission in 1964 to 66? National Education Policy, the inputs or the documents from the National Education Policy of 1968, 1986, and POA 1992. Chattopadhyay Commission 1984, Learning Without Burden 1993. Now, five guiding principles. The first one is connecting knowledge to outside world. Now, the national curriculum framework is emphasizing to connect the knowledge to the outside world. Shifting focus from rote learning, they are saying or they are emphasis to shift learning from the rote memorization. Enriching curriculum beyond textbooks. They are focusing to enrich the curriculum, and that curriculum which will be enriched will be beyond the textbooks. Making evaluation, monitoring more flexible. They are saying that the evaluation and the monitoring system should not be rigid. They are saying that if we are try to make our evaluation and the monitoring system more flexible and integrated to the classroom work, and it should be integrated with the classroom works, nurturing and overriding identity informed by caring concerns within democratic polity of the country. Basic spirit behind NCF 2005. Constructivism, believing in ability of child to construct the knowledge. Now the NCF is focusing on the theory of constructivism, and they are saying that we are believing in the ability that the child has the ability to construct their own knowledge. The teacher should work as a facilitator and a guide, and the students in this approach will not only be just a passive listeners, they will be the creator of the knowledge. Freedom to learn and practice means students should be given freedom to learn and participate in the teaching learning process. Teacher as an autonomous facilitator. The teacher should work as a facilitator, as a guide. Evaluation as tool to find strength rather than weakness. And the work of evaluation, or we can say the evaluation should be such like that it should not focus on the weaknesses of the students, whether it should work as a tool to find out the strengths of the students. Quality, quantity, and universalization. Universalization of education, the qualitative education should be given. Commitment to democratic values and ways, and the education system or the education should be such that it should be committed to democratic values and ways. Now, observation about Indian schools. What NCF has done, he has observed the Indian schools, how they are working, how was the teaching learning process, what is the role of a teacher, what is the curriculum that has been teaching to the students. Now, the first one is inflexible and resistant to change. Means the Indian schools are inflexible, they are rigid, and they don't want to change with the scenario that is going on. Learning is isolated activity. Now, why learning is an isolated activity? Because students are not participating in the teaching learning process. They are just the passive listeners. Discourage creative thinking. Our education system is discouraging the creative thinking among the learners. Human capacity to create is ignored, and they are ignoring what the human capacity to create something. We are focusing on just rote memorization. We are not making them creative thinker. Pretends to make future, ignore present. We are saying that we are going to make future for them, but for making the future, or in the making of the future, we are ignoring the present. Lack of equality, equity, and quality. And there is a lack of equality, equity, and quality of education. Now, questions 2005 addresses: what educational purpose should the school should seek to achieve? What is the educational purpose and which the school wants to seek to achieve? What educational experiences can be provided that are likely to achieve these purposes? And what should be the educational experiences? Or we can say what type of experiences should be provided by the education so that we are likely to achieve these purposes. How can these educational experiences be meaningfully organized? Or the educational experiences can be organized in such a way that it should give a meaning. How can we ensure that these educational purposes are indeed being accomplished? And how can we ensure that these educational purposes are indeed being accomplished? Learning and knowledge. Learners in context. Child's voice, experience, and interest are seen in classroom procedure. Now, what NCF is saying that the teaching learning process should be according to the needs of the learner, what they wanted, what are their experiences, what are their interests, and keeping in mind child voice, experiences, or interests, and classroom proceedings should be decided. Means it is not what the teacher wants, it is what the child wants. What is that the student want? And according to that, our teaching learning process should be decided and classroom proceedings should be decided. Holistic curriculum, inclusive knowledge and participation. It should be a holistic curriculum, should be prepared, and that curriculum should focus on inclusive knowledge. where every child should get equal opportunities or right to get the education and participation. Use inherent motivation to know, understand, apply, and for higher cognitive abilities. We have to use the inherent motivation to know how much a learner is known the facts related to the topic which we are going to teach, understand how much they have understand that knowledge, apply how they will apply that particular knowledge, and higher cognitive abilities. Use variety, ways and means to teach as they learn in variety of ways. Use variety means the teaching methods, teaching approaches should not be same. The teacher should use various teaching methods, techniques to teach the students as means to teach as they learn in a variety of means ways means different learner or different children learn in its own way. His way of learning is different. So a teacher should use different ways of methods and techniques to teach these students. Learning and knowledge continue. Use experiences attained from inside and outside schools. Means while imparting the knowledge to the students, the teacher should use the experiences which the learner has. Now, the teacher should not only use the experiences which the learner is getting inside the school, but the teacher should also focus on the experiences which the learner is getting outside the school also. Engage the child in concept generation for deeper learning and longer retention so that they can retain that particular learning for a longer period, and deeper learning means they will understand each and every concept in detail. Allow constructivism to operate in the class. Now, the teacher should allow or encourage the students for constructing their own knowledge. The students are involved or should encourage in the construction of their own knowledge. Interactions are the most effective tool of learning. The teacher should encourage the students so that they are interact with each other, and it is the most effective tool of learning. Neither teacher and nor textbooks are authority to learning. Now, mm, we cannot say that the only authoritative tools for learning are teachers and texts. No, it cannot be. Whether the experiences which the learner is getting outside and inside the classroom is also leads to the learning of the learners. Learning and knowledge continue. Learning experiences for competencies rather than measurable traits. We should focus on developing their abilities, and the learning experiences should be provided so that they will develop those abilities. Individualized activity based learner. Every student has its own way of learning, so our lessons should be based on individualized activity. Involve critical pedagogy in teaching. We should involve critical pedagogy in teaching learning process. Ignore stereotype regarding learning ability, and we should ignore the stereotype regarding learning abilities. Use conflicts as opportunities to teach social concepts in true perspectives. Knowledge can be covered under domains cognitive, affective, and cognitive, and our knowledge should be such that it should cover the domains, the cognitive, affective, and cognitive. Learning and knowledge continue. Objective and subjective knowledge are complementary. Knowledge should be such that it should complement both objective and subjective knowledge. Associate joint knowledge with local knowledge. And we should make our learning in such a way so that the child can associate its knowledge with the local knowledge. Associate school knowledge with community knowledge by imparting the knowledge to the students. The student teacher should associate the school knowledge with the community knowledge. Knowledge we started from integrated form to disciplinary form beyond elementary stage. Now, curricular areas, language rational. Primary be covered in home language means the primary section, their language should be covered in home language. Allow multilingual expression. If a child is coming from northern part of India, then we should allow multilingual expression of the students. English need be studied and English language need be studied by the students. In English medium schools, Indian languages need to be valorized. Performance should be assessed as language proficiency, how much proficiency a learner has in a particular language. Language teacher need to have high proficiency and a language teacher need to be have high proficiency. Language skills cut across all subjects. 3. Language formula be revitalized. Mathematics rational. Making attitude is the key. Learn to enjoy, no fear. Means we have to change the attitude of the learner. And making the attitude is the key concept when we are talking about the subject of mathematics. Learn to enjoy. Students learn to enjoy mathematics, no fear, and they do not fear with that particular subject. Develop as interdisciplinary manner to make meaningful, and we should develop an interdisciplinary manner so that the learning should be meaningful. Less stress on computation, use integrated approach between different branches of mathematics. Less stress should be given on computation, uses integrated approach between different branches of mathematics. Arrest interest and enhance resources of students. We should arrest the interest of the students in that particular subject and enhance resources of students. And we should enhance the resources of the students to learn that particular subject. Use variety of tools available to mathematics. When a teacher is teaching the students the mathematics, then the teacher should use a variety of tools to teach the students and those tools that are available to teach the subject of mathematics. Curriculum should progress from playway to abstract terminology, symbols, procedures, and techniques. Should be taught at more than one level. So mathematics should be taught at more than one levels to the learners or the students. Now, curricular areas continue. Computer science. Ensure availability and accessibility of both hardware and software. Now, NCF is saying that our school system should ensure the availability and accessibility of both hardware and software for learners and the students. Science need to be true to the child, true to life, and true to science. It needs be valid in all dimensions. Means the knowledge of science should be valid in all the dimensions. Cognitive validity, the knowledge. Content validity, the subject matter. Process, how the process has been there. Historical validity should be there. Why? we are teaching the science, environmental validity, and ethical validity. Science use science to eliminate social evils. Now, science education should be used so that we can eliminate the social evils of our society. Superstitious, injustice, poverty, discrimination, and highlighting oneness of humanity. And it should work on highlighting the oneness of humanity. Science can be used to inculcate values like industrialization, patience, intellectual honesty, and the like. Rote learning be replaced by experimentation, creativity, and heuristics. So we are focusing on developing the creativity among the learners, and they should learn while performing the experiments. Science at school stages. Primary stage, nurturing curiosity about the world around the child means the focus of science and teaching at the primary level should be that it should nurture the curiosity among the learners about the world around the child. Upper primary, learning principles of science through hands on experiences and familiar observation. At the upper primary level, the science learning should be such that it should focus on the principles through hand on experiences means the learner will learn those concepts or theories of science by having its own experiences first on hand on experiences and familiar observation and about the things by observing. Secondary level experimentation as tool to verify theoretical basis. Here we should focus on the experimentation. We should give emphasis on experiments. An experiment should work as a tool to verify the theoretical basis. Higher secondary stage means at higher secondary stage the science should work as separate discipline. It should be as a separate discipline with emphasis on experimentation. At this level, the emphasis on learning the science it should be on experiment means student will learn after experimenting. Technology uses to learn problem solving, introduce optional science discipline rather than adding more content to the existing discipline, or we should work that it should introduce as an optional science discipline rather we are adding more content to the existing disciplines. Now social science should aim at raising students' awareness through interdisciplinary, particularly exploring and questioning the familiar social reality and visualizing the means to attain a socially just order, sustainable environment, and thriving democracy by inculcating fundamental values enriched in constitution. Focus on conceptual understanding rather lining up to facts to be memorized for exams. We should focus on the understanding of the concept rather than encouraging the learner for memorize the facts for exams. Use term political science instead of civics means political science should be used instead of civics. Include human rights and gender justice other than social issues. And when we are framing the curriculum of the social science, it should include the subject or the concept or topics like human rights, gender justice, other than social issues means social science should not only focus on the social issues but it should include human rights and gender justice also in the curriculum. Development be one of the contexts. Social science at secondary stages. Primary integration of natural and social environment taught through illustration from immediate environment. Means at the primary level, the social science subject should focus on integration of natural and social environments, and it should be taught to the students through illustration for immediate environment. In class 3rd to 5th, Environmental Studies, Science, EVS, will focus on health of environment and urgency to save it. And 3rd to 5th, the Environmental Sciences, EVS should focus on health of environment and urgency to save the environment. Upper primary, history, geography, political science, and economics. Secondary level, history, geography, political science, sociology, and economics. It should include problems and opportunities they have. Means it should include the problems of those subjects and opportunities of those subjects. Higher secondary offer number of choices without putting under. Streams include philosophy, psychology, anthropology, and even commerce. Means offer a number of choice without putting under these streams. Art education, both visual and performing arts, need to be brought back to glory from state to neglect. Should be made compulsory till class 10. Means art education should be made compulsory till class 10. And variety of options be offered in, and a variety of options should be given to the learners. Offered in music, dance, visual arts, including crafts and theatre. Highlight rich heritage of the country. At plus two stage, art should be offered at specialized schools with intention of deep understanding of aesthetic, means the beauty, and it should be offered as a specialized course so that the students will able to develop a deep understanding of aesthetic. Now the next one is health and physical education. Should be a core subject till secondary stage. Means health and physical education should be a core subject till the student reaches the secondary stage, and optional at higher secondary stage, and it should be optional at higher secondary stage. Medical care, hygienic school environment, school lunch, midday meal, health including yoga and physical education programs be made components of the curriculum. Ensure participation of every student in health and physical. Now, it health and physical education should be such that it should teach the students the medical care, hygienic school environment, health including yoga, physical education programs. Now the next one is work education. Work related generic competencies be pursued at every level. Should use it as potential pedagogy for knowledge acquisition. Knowledge for peace, nurturing non-violent, peaceful conflict, resolution behavior and skills. Means the peace education should work on nurturing non-violent, peaceful conflict resolution behavior and skills among the learner. Encompasses respect for human rights. It should encompasses respect for human rights, justice, tolerance, cooperation, social responsibility, respect for cultural diversity, and commitment to democratic values. Now, education for peace infused in all subjects and activities of the schools means it should be included in all the subjects and activities which are going to be organized in the school. Peace activities may include peace clubs, peace educating films, peace workshop, celebrating cultural diversity and gender justice, etc. Means the school can organize these types of activities in their schools to inculcate peace education in their students. Now, school and classroom environment, physical environment, space should be there, building should be proper, furniture, equipments, and time. Psychological, participatory environment, inclusive and barrier-free access to every student. Discipline and participatory management. Space for parents and community. Learning resources. Library should be there. Textbooks should be there. Educational technology. Tools and laboratories. Other spaces and sites. Local resources. Polling resources or teachers' autonomy. Systematic reforms. Paradigm shift. Teacher-centric stable design to learner-centric flexible process means our learning system or our learning design should be changed from the teacher-centric approach to the learner-centric approach. Teacher direction and decisions to learner autonomy means what the learner wants. It according to that the teacher will direct the students and take the decisions. Teacher guidance and monitoring, a facilitator and an agent of encouragement to learning. Passive reciprocation to active participation in learning means they should not just be a passive listeners who are just receiving what the teacher is saying, but they should be actively participate in the teaching learning process. Learning in classroom to learning in wider social context. Knowledge given to knowledge constructed and evolved. Disciplinary focus to multidisciplinary focus. Linear exposure to multiple and divergent exposure. Exam and appraisal at times to CC. No board exams before 10 plus 2 means there should uh, be no board exam before 10 plus 2. AS, many exams as students want to appear. Replace pass, fail terminology with reappear, retake, re-examination. Means we should replace the terminology of pass and fail with reappear, retake, or re-examination. Re-examination at the earliest to save an year, and the re-examination should be held at earliest so that it can save an year of the child. Difficult subjects may be examined at standard and higher level. When we are talking about the difficult subjects, they should be examined on they can be examined at standard and higher level. Flexible time limit, there should not be a rigidness. Guidance counseling helpline means guidance counseling. Provision should be there, a helpline should be there. Question bank and open book exams are also should be included in the evaluation techniques. Grade and percentile ranks, transparency in evaluation and re-evaluation means the transparency should be there when we are evaluating and re-evaluating the performances of the student. Concern for quality, our concern or Major emphasis should be there on the quality of the education, work centered education, vocational educational training, and vocational educational training should be given to the learners or the students. Innovation in ideas and practice. The first one is plurality of textbooks, encouraging innovations. It can only be done when the teacher will encourage the students for creative thinking. With the rote memorization, we cannot encourage innovations among the students. Use of technology means the teacher should encourage the students to use the technology, or the teacher should also use the technology when he or she is teaching the students. New partnerships, roles of NGOs, civil society, etc. So, today, students, we have discussed the National Curriculum Framework 2005. For further reading on this topic, you can refer these references. Now, let us discuss some MCQs, as MCQs are the best tools to know the learning outcomes of the learner, how much they have learned a particular concept. Now, the first one is expand NCF 2005, means in this questions you have to give the full form of NCF 2005. Now the options are A. National Curriculum Framework 2005, B. National Common Framework 2005, C. National Class Framework 2005, or it's D. None of the above. So students, these are the choices, and now you have to select the correct answer on the basis of the given options. Yes, what will be the correct answer? Yes, the correct answer will be option A, that is NCF, full form is National Curriculum Framework 2005. Now the next one is common source of physical discomfort for the child is, means what is the common source of physical discomfort given to a child or a children. Options are A. Long way to school punishment, corporal, C. Heavy school bags, or it's D. All the above. So students, these are the choices. Now you have to select the correct answer on the basis of the given choices. Yes, the correct answer will be option D. That is all the above. Means long way to school, corporal punishment, heavy school bags. All these are the sources of physical discomfort for our children. Now the third one, teacher as per NCF 2005 is. Now, what should be the role of a teacher in the context of NCF 2005? Now, the options are A. Boss. The teacher should work as a boss in the class or during the teaching learning process. Option B. Leader. It should work as a leader. C. Facilitator. He should work as a facilitator. Or D. All the above. So these are the choices, students. Now you have to select the correct answer on the basis of the given choices, and the correct answer will be option C. That is, teacher should work as a facilitator as per National Curriculum Framework 2005. Now the fourth one, several studies have shown that bilingual proficiency raise the level of, means several studies have given the result that the bilingual proficiency means when the children or the have the proficiency in more than one language, raise the level of. Options are A. Cognitive growth, B. Social tolerance, C. Diversified thinking, or it's D. All the above. So these are the choices, students. Now you have to select the correct answer on the basis of the given choices, and the correct answer will be yes. The correct answer will be option D. That is all the above. Means uh, bilingual proficiency raise the level of cognitive, social tolerance, and diversified thinking among the students or the learners or the teachers, children. The aim of teaching English as per NCF 2005 is the creation of Hindi only, multilingualism, C English only, or it's D none of the above. So the correct answer is option B. That is the aim of teaching English as per NCF 2005 is multilingualism. Now the sixth one is the purpose of evaluation is not. What should be the purpose of evaluation according to NCF 2005? Or in that question, we are focusing what is not the purpose of evaluation as per NCF 2005. For giving this question answer, you have to focus what are the purposes of evaluation of NCF. So the options are to motivate children to study under threat, to label the children as slow learners, to identify child who needs remediation, or it's D, all the above. So, what will be the correct answer, students? The correct answer will be option D, that is all the above. Now, the next one, NCF 2005 emphasized that math should be taught to selective students, means only selective students should be taught mathematics. Succeeding in mathematics should be mandatory for every children, means it should be mandatory, compulsory for every children to be successful or succeeding in mathematics. Students should be tested first for their logical mathematical ability, means before teaching the students the subject of mathematics, we should take a logical mathematical ability test of the students. Max curriculum should be separated for lower achiever, means those students who are lower achiever, for them max curriculum should be different. So students, these are the choices, and what will be the correct answer? Yes, the correct answer will be option B, that is succeeding in mathematics should be mandatory for every child. Now the eighth one, according to NCF 2005, errors are important because they are focusing or giving importance to errors, and why they are considering errors are important. Options are an important tool in classifying students into group of passed and failed. Means with the help of that we can able to make separate groups of pass and fail. Provide a way to the teachers to scold the children. Means it is providing the children that the teacher can scold those children who have make errors. Provide an insight into the child's thinking and help to identify, means the errors will help or provide an insight into the child's thinking and help to identify. Solutions provide space for removing some children from the class, and it will be a way to removing children from the class. So these are the options, and the correct answer will be that it will provide an insight into the child's thinking and help to identify the solutions. Now the ninth one, as per the National Curriculum Framework 2005, multilingualism in learning. Options are A. Language should be seen as a challenge for students to learn many languages. B. Challenge for teachers to manage such classes. C. Hindrance in teaching learning English. Or X. D. Resource in teaching learning English. So these are the options, and the correct one will be the option D, that is resource in teaching learning English. Now the 10th one, as per the NCF 2005, which one among the following is the theme of EVS? Options are A. Food, B. Solar system, C. Weather, or it's D. Energy. So the correct answer is option A. That is the theme of EVS according to NCF 2005 is food. Thank you, students. With this particular narration, you have understood the National Curriculum Framework 2005. What are the input documents that are required to prepare the NCF 2005? What are the guiding principles for the creation or the development of NCF 2005? What are the curricular areas and what it suggests? What should be the role of a teacher and what should be which subject should we teach accordingly? Thank you, students. Thank you so much for your patience listening.